This is a Headgum podcast.
Hello and welcome to Perfect Person, the show where I'm perfect and you're a person. Earlier today, I decided that I was going to be buff. And so I started a journey, the first of which was me having a protein powder. And it ends with me getting absolutely yoked beyond belief by doing a bicep curl, which I haven't done yet, but I've made plans to join a gym to have the bicep curl.
That's a great goal that you made for yourself.
I said I'll be buff by the end of the month.
Damn, like end of this.
I'd like to
Because
join.
there's only one day left.
Johnny, I don't start things half-assed. I'm saying that I want to join a gym tomorrow.
Yeah.
I tried to do this last weekend.
Yeah.
It didn't go. I tried last Sunday.
So you would have had a week to get buff.
Correct.
Okay.
Last Sunday, I said to my lovely wife, I'm joining a gym today.
Yep.
And I wanted to join one of the really expensive ones.
Mm-hmm.
Then I chickened out. But that's why I'm trying to double down and join Equinox.
Oh my God.
For $490 a day or whatever. It's so crazy expensive. But I want to experience what it's like to be buff.
Yeah.
Like if I can get into the lifestyle and sort of I use the Kiehl's, I go to the steam room, I get the moisturizer that's expensive for free gratis because it's Equinox.
Yep.
If I can do that successfully, I think that I'm going to be buff just by proxy.
Absolutely. You picked the wrong month because July is 30 days, September, April. Oh, no.
Did you have to do the whole thing?
30 days, September, April. Is it half September?
It's not.
Are we
30 days half? By the way, I don't know. Is it 30 days half September?
I thought it
April,
was half.
June.
I thought Shakespeare wrote
It was
this one.
Shakespearean.
So 30 days have September.
I don't know that I'm right.
No. What? 30 days have September?
I'm here with
Would it
Jonny
be-
Cakes.
Okay.
Welcome to the show, Johnny. Welcome to the show. When people talk to you, you go by Johnny, obviously.
Yep.
And when people are introducing you and they say Jonny Cakes,
Yep.
that is sort of the branded name that you are now identified as. Does a part of you think, well,
you gotta have a brand? Yeah, that's my influencer voice. I don't know if influencers talk. You gotta have a brand.
Yeah.
It's all about branding.
this is sort of Gary V almost.
Yeah. I people can call me Johnny Cakes, Mr. Cakes.
Mr. Cakes.
I went to a wedding recently and they had on my little name card on the table, Mr. Jonny Cakes, which I thought was cute.
That's very cute.
In like the fancy writing.
Absolutely. I like that. Well, Johnny, welcome to the show. It's a pleasure to have you on. You're another silly Billy that's sort of a part of the Try Guys world, also a part of your own world.
Very silly.
Digital media influencer, comedian, cake maker.
Thank you. These are nice things you're
Do you
saying
think
about
that's
me.
nice? I feel like those are true things.
All right, I'll accept it.
Yeah.
Thank you. I just want to say before we get too far along here, I did not know that as a guest, I would get to listen to the
sound
theme song.
Oh, the theme song. Yes. Now, that's a really good point that you bring up. We don't need to listen to the theme song.
Absolutely not.
And by the way, I cut the part where we're listening out of the episode.
Oh.
But you know what it is?
What?
I want us to have, because obviously we do the Patreon cold open, native plug.
Yep.
And then I play the theme song to sort of gear us up.
Yeah.
Just for us to think, you know what, the show just started.
No, it feels like I'm on a show.
Yeah, now it feels like you're on the show.
Yeah.
But that's all mental. That's me playing four-dimensional chess with you, Jonny
Right.
Cakes.
Right. No, but you know how things are like more fun after the edit.
Yeah.
You watch it, you go, that's not how it happened
Not
in real
this
life.
show, man.
This show is as it is. It's like you've got a live band.
Yeah. I try to, and I think the soundboard also helps with that. It helps legitimize the feeling that we are both doing a show.
Yep.
And we are on a podcast.
Yep. It's fabulous. I'm really happy to be here. The set is gorgeous. I wish the people could be here.
That's very sweet of you. Thank you. I'm very proud of the set. I'm going to be changing it up immediately after we leave. I did order new chairs.
Oh.
You're going to be actually the last guest to sit on this couch.
What are you going to do with the couch?
Well, it's just going to go to a different part of the room.
Oh, got it.
But I guess other guests could sit on the couch, but they won't be sitting on it where you're sitting.
That's okay. Yeah. I'm gonna own this. I've got, as you described, one cheek on each cushion.
Yeah, I tell all the guests, and this is something that I don't know if I've talked about, but I say sit on the crease, which I guess like, did you find that was a little bit demanding?
No. Actually, I walked in and I was like, I like to be told what to do. Yeah, and that's I'm a sub. I don't know. I'm so bad at being like gay. I should know this. This is like a thing.
Perfect TikTok clip. Perfect TikTok clip. I'm a sub. I'm so bad at being gay.
I'm a sub something. It's like I want to be told what to do.
Yeah, I think sub is, there's no, I don't think you're trying to finish it like it's a Subway sandwich, but I think it's a sub. This is a dom and there's a sub.
Yep.
Submissive.
So yes. No, I would like to be, hey, welcome, do this, do that, do this. You go, great. I'm in a new space. Yeah. I don't know. I've never been in this room before. I like being told what to do. You said put one cheek on each cushion.
I did, which I don't tell everybody.
Oh.
But I said to you specifically because I was feeling in a silly mood.
I loved it. I knew exactly where to sit. And guess what? I bet the camera has a perfect shot of me.
See, that's why I say sit on the crease.
Yeah.
Because it's a big couch. You could go anywhere on here, but then you'd be totally out of frame.
Yes. Hey, I was listening to your podcast the other day.
You were?
Yeah.
And what did you think?
I thought I was laughing out loud in my car. Fully laughing in my car. I was on my way to Lowe's.
Name drop.
Home Improvement. What if you found out I was like plugging certain brands and it was like, are you working with Lowe's?
Did you take a back deal ad for Lowe's before coming?
So do you know, I love Lowe's. Let me tell you something. The parking lot.
No.
Yeah, okay. So
they're pushing the parking lot too. Like what a weird brand point.
No, easy parking.
Our parking lot is pristine.
So I was at Lowe's, and by the way, I feel very out of place at Lowe's. A lot of guys who know how to build stuff.
No, big time. Yeah.
And guess what I was there for?
Building something?
Dowels for a cake for without a recipe. For a wedding cake.
Sure. Yeah.
So
right.
like I'm there for a different reason.
You're doing arts and crafts.
Yeah. So I was getting dowels. So anyway, I was listening on my way to Lowe's, and I was laughing.
It's very sweet of you.
I know that like I shouldn't be shocked.
Well,
but it was genuinely funny.
I appreciate that big time. I mean, I'll take the compliment right home because I'm loving that you said it.
Take it home.
And I appreciate you were listening to the Kelsey episode, right?
The Kelsey episode.
Yeah, great app, honestly, to start with.
Great episode.
Proud that that's the one you started with.
Yeah,
I think that was one of our best.
Yeah. Okay. And now I'm going to go back in the catalog, and I really will. I promise I will.
And I'll hold you to that.
I will. I'll be honest. I've never listened before.
Well, we didn't. We were talking about this a little bit in the cold open, but we don't know each other that well.
No.
And Johnny, where are you from?
Michigan.
From Michigan.
Where are you from?
North Carolina.
Okay. So when did you come to LA?
I came to LA 6 years ago.
You're still kind of new.
I'm a little fresh.
I feel like you're so integrated in the Try Guys world.
Well, I've been at Try Guys since they started the new company. So that's why I feel so integrated, is because like I was the person that like set up a lot of stuff at the very beginning. Wow. Because I was like, when the company was 7 people, I was one of them.
Wow.
And 4 of them were the guys. And, it was a small thing at the beginning. But now I feel like I got integrated into LA very quickly because started a job at a like sort of startup phase of the company.
Damn.
And then also I met my wife 3 months prior to starting the job, and she had been in LA for a very long time. So now we have a huge community of people that we love in Los Angeles.
That you just like tripped and fell into.
Kind of, very luckily.
Cool.
Yeah. And they're all like wonderful, artists and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, that's nice.
Not your average LA story.
No, people are like, I came and it was horrible.
Everyone's awful. First of all,
I love Los Angeles. I want to say
I do too.
People give LA a hard time, and I get it. Like, I'll take it because I understand that, like, it's not, especially if you are somebody that wants to live in peace and quiet in the middle of the country. Right. That is not what this is. But I really love Los Angeles.
Yeah, you can't. Parking's really hard in LA.
Oh, have you? I've never heard that. I've never heard that ever.
But luckily,
do people say that?
Yeah, but luckily at Lowe's. Luckily at Lowe's on Pico.
The parking Lowe's on Pico. Hashtag Lowe's on Pico.
No, I actually, so I was out last night and I was talking to this guy who's lovely. I like him a lot. But he was talking about how LA, everyone sucks in LA. And I was like,
don't think that's true
sir,
at all.
I think you need to surround yourself with better people.
Definitely.
Like, what do you mean everyone sucks?
I don't even know what that means, because it's like, like if you go to fucking Santa Monica and you go to a shitty club, you're going to encounter a lot of bad people.
Yes.
But like, I live on the east side of Los Angeles. It's very hipstery. It's very just sort of whatever.
Yep.
And I fucking love it.
The east side's great because, so the thing is like, everyone's hot in LA. Go to the east side because they're still hot, but also smart, and that makes them so much hotter.
I think you're gonna be like, go to the east side. Everyone's fucking ugly as shit.
No, I think the east side's the sexiest side.
I think so too. Well, it's the Brooklyn element. If you're picturing Brooklyn, that's kind of what people look like here. It's like a little bit more relaxed. It's a little bit more affordable.
Yep.
In certain places. I mean, nothing in LA is affordable really, but yeah, no, I really do like it. It's also, I think it's a hard place to visit. Los Angeles in and of itself does not have the magic of a New York City.
No.
Or a Chicago. You go to Chicago, you go to New York and you're like, whoa, this is fucking crazy.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
It's uncanny. That's exactly what I do when I arrive.
Like,
and you know what?
Yeah.
You're in a subway and you fall in love every 5 seconds.
You're like, oh my God. And then you come to Los Angeles and you're like, this is a lot of driving. I don't really know where to go. Because when you visit Los Angeles, you're like, do I go to Hollywood? Don't go to Hollywood.
If you go to Hollywood, that's your first mistake.
You made a horrible mistake.
Yeah.
But then it's like, do you go to, like, there's not really a central hub. It's a place you have to find little.
Totally.
You're
right. It's a terrible place to be.
How long have you been in Los Angeles?
Like today is my 10-year anniversary. Isn't that weird?
Wow.
Yeah. I moved here right after college and I didn't know what was happening. I certainly did not find a wife right away. In fact, I still haven't found a wife, which trying to figure out why.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But I didn't hate it.
Yeah.
I was just like, I got to figure this place out. And I was a tour guide at Universal. So I had a little community.
By the way, it's all coming together for me, Johnny.
Why?
Because I can totally see you being like, and here's the Hollywood and our special little secret.
Oh my God. I had to, a couple of things. One, yes, it's the most obnoxious people in the world. And I love these people dearly. I was one of them. Get hired at Universal. Okay.
Yeah,
because you just have to be there's an audition where you basically just have to scream.
Yeah.
They're like, if your decibel level is not high enough, you do not move on to the next round.
That's horrible.
So yeah, it's terrible. But you know what we had to say? We had to say, hang on, let me see if I can remember. It's been like 7 years since I worked there. Hi, I'm John. I'm going to bring you chicken. Join me as we lift the veil of secrecy on some of Hollywood's hottest filming locations.
Oh, so you did the fucking bus ride.
Yo, I did the tram tour. And then when we did that, did you know that there's a lot of tour guide folklore, which is like basically like one tour guide said it once and then the rest of us have been saying it for like decades, but it's probably not true.
Yeah, right.
But they said that like...
Not mandated.
We passed by this flash flood and there's like fake rainfall through.
I've done it.
Yeah. Oh, you've done it. Okay. Never mind. Okay. So what we say is, hey, if you're taking photos of the rain right now, you may see it's hard for the rain to... You don't see it in your photographs.
Yeah, right.
It just doesn't show up. So what they used to do in the early days of Hollywood is... add powdered milk to the rainwater. Which, by the way,
can't be true. That can't be
Mama, there's no fucking way, okay?
It would be so expensive.
So expensive and gross. Everyone would smell like milk after one take.
Rotting. It would be like rotting on the ground.
Yeah. So powdered milk. And then we had to say this. I swear to God. So you could say that Gene Kelly was really singing in the milk. And every time I said that, I heard a groan and I would go off microphone and the guy in my throat, I'd be like, I had to say it. They made me. Gene Kelly was really singing in the milk. My friends still to this day like make fun of me.
That's devastating.
They'll be like, Gene Kelly is really singing
in the milk.
And you need a wah wah. Do you have a wah wah?
I've got one of these.
Yeah,
then I've got one of these. You talking to me, Willis?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But it was a good first job and I met a bunch of people. And it actually was a good like introduction to LA because like
it's also like what you imagine Los Angeles will be like.
No, like literally you think LA's the Universal Studio Tour.
Literally.
And actually it is. If you work
you're waking up every day and you're like, Hollywood really is magical. Like, look at all the sets.
Look at that flash. Look at Jaws. Jaws jumps up at you every day.
When I went there, I was like, oh, this is what I imagined it would be like as a kid.
Mm-hmm. Did you know they make more money off of like the studio tour than they do off of renting the studios? So now the tour is like...
Really?
It would be less...
I guess it runs all day.
They would make... Yeah, exactly. And people love to come. Yeah. They make less money renting out a soundstage than they do like turning that soundstage into like the earthquake.
Wow, that's
so
tour. Crazy. Yeah. I think that just speaks to like ticket costs. Like it's so expensive to go and then everyone's riding it all day.
Exactly.
That's crazy, Johnny.
Wild stuff. I mean, really.
Well, we have the phone lines ringing off the damn hook here.
I'm so excited.
So we have to get to the phone calls. But before we do, if you like the show, then you can rate and subscribe it so you never miss a single episode.
I will.
If you turn on notifications on YouTube, it's going to come right into your freaking inbox.
Oh, yeah.
Like a pile of 1,000 bricks. And if you love the show, consider joining us on Patreon, where we have exclusive bonus episodes every Friday, as well as extended ad-free versions of every single episode, including this one, where we really got into it on the cold open.
Oh, I mean, we jumped right into it. I'm gonna join your Patreon as soon as I leave here.
That's very sweet.
No,
of you.
you're gonna see.
I'm gonna see.
You're gonna get a notification.
I'm gonna be looking, and honestly, if you don't, I'm gonna call you at midnight.
So what do I get? Wait a minute. What do I get on the Patreon? Let me just make sure I want to commit to this.
Yeah.
Ad-free episodes.
Ad-free and extended. So every episode is a cold open, like this, and then we also exclusive bonus episodes every single Friday. Most recently, I did the Platinum Plunge cast, where we did an ice plunge outside, and I did a podcast before, during, and afterward.
You're working overtime for the Patreon.
Oh yeah, the Patreon is stacked.
All right, well,
and I call people back. So if you have a problem, I call them back to see how my advice turned out.
God, that's brilliant.
Thank you, Johnny. Well, let's get to the phone lines here so we can make sure that we're solving the people's conundries.
Can't wait.
8 hours of sleep is a luxury that I don't often get. But when I need a little nighttime helper to get my night-night, to get that good ZZs, I'm gonna be relying on Coterie diapers. Not for me, but for my little baby guy. Coterie diapers are the highest quality diapers on the freaking planet. And they're supremely soft and hyper-absorbent, so they get me through the night as well as my little baby through the night. I've been using Coterie diapers since the first week of my baby's life. Basically, we wanted a quality product, and unanimously, I looked around, and this was the one that kept coming up, and I could not recommend it more. It feels like so luxurious, the branding's really nice, and it's the only diaper that does not fill him to the brim when he goes to the bathroom in the middle of the night. So he wakes up less, and that's a huge plus for me. And it's gonna be a huge plus for you. Coterie diapers are designed to minimize leaks, blowouts, and diaper rash so you and your baby can enjoy more comfortable, dry, uninterrupted sleep. They have up to 70% more liquid capacity and absorb up to 4 times faster by moving liquids away from the skin within 15 seconds, keeping your baby drier than the leading diaper brands. It's time to use a better diaper, and right now, Coterie is partnering with my podcast to offer you 20% off your first order plus free shipping at Coterie.com, promo code PerfectPerson. That's Coterie, spelled COTERIE.com, promo code PerfectPerson for 20% off your first order and free shipping. Coterie.com, promo code PerfectPerson. Highly recommend these puppies. Get your baby in them, and you're going to be sleeping just right. If you've got a little baby, then you know that their toys are actually your toys. Because when you're absolutely exhausted at 6 a.m. laying on the ground, you're going to want a nice toy for daddy to play with as well. While my baby plays with the toys, I'm definitely tinkering around with them. And that's why I rely on KiwiCo to send quality toys at a reasonable price. KiwiCo is a must-have subscription for your baby that encourages brain-building play. The Panda Crate was specifically designed for newborns and toddlers to support their rapid development in the first 2 years of life. We've gotten like 3 crates from KiwiCo at this point, and it's sending you toys for them to play with as they become aware of like new developmental skills and stuff. Hands down, his favorite thing is a little wood spinny thing that he kind of puts his hand on and a marble rolls inside and it goes click, 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 and he kind of goes, and he's having a ball. My favorite toy is probably going to be the cubes that they sent. They send these little foam cubes that are kind of crinkly, and some of them have bells inside, so that's probably my favorite toy to play with. Foster brain building play with KiwiCo. Right now, get 50% off your first month plus free shipping at KiwiCo.com. Promo code PerfectPerson. 50% off your first month plus free shipping at KiwiCo.com. Promo code PerfectPerson. KiwiCo.com. Promo code PerfectPerson. These are quality toys for your baby and for you. This is someone that needs help crafting a text message.
Oh.
And we're going to be here to be the authors and poet laureates.
Fabulous.
Hi, Miles. I hooked up with this guy that I've been in love with for 10 years, and I don't know how to text him. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to play it cool. Please help me. Thank you.
Okay, so we got a lot of pressure built up in this one situation.
In love with this man for 10 years?
And then you fucking hook up. By the way, it can't have been good. So much pressure.
So much pressure. 10 years to be in love with somebody?
That's a long time. We're going to need some more details here.
Jeff. She doesn't know you're calling right now.
She just hung up on me.
Oh my! She's gonna be.
She thinks it's spam, so we gotta call her back.
Okay.
If you spam call them, they'll usually pick up.
Hello?
Hello, you called Perfect Person, and I'm here to call you back. I'm here with Jonny Cakes.
Oh my God, no way.
Okay, first and foremost, why did you hang up on Miles?
Yeah, you hung up on me a second ago.
I did not mean to. I had a panic attack.
Wait, does it show up as Miles?
No, I wish it showed up as Perfect Person, but it just
I've been calling for like 4 weeks straight. There's like an arc of my narrative.
Wait, I love you already.
Oh my God. That's incredible. Okay, well, first of all, we're going to have to give you a fake.
If you go back through, you're like, she messaged him, and now we're here.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so there was a guy that you had loved for 10 years, and you hooked up with him relatively recently. First of all, Jonny, I'm going to need a fake name.
For the caller?
Yes, please.
Oh my God.
Tabitha.
Tabitha is your name, and the guy is going to be Royland. So Tabitha, you hooked up with Royland, and you're trying to figure out a text message to send and how to freaking go from there. So please give us the backstory.
Okay, so it's very convoluted. So
okay, perfect.
we were lifeguards together, and I would make him do like all the swim tests. Because he was so handsome.
Oh, yeah. My God. I'm in love already. I get it. Okay.
I get it, baby.
Now, I did have a boyfriend, but it wasn't like a big deal. And so
he was only not a big deal.
So him and I spent, like, we would work together every single day, pretty much. And then we would hang out after work. And we spent, like, the whole summer doing it. It was, like, whirlwind thing, except for we never made out.
What did your boyfriend think, by the way? Was he just like, I don't know, I'm only
he just ended up breaking up with me eventually.
Yeah,
he just broke up with me.
Gotcha.
Eventually.
Okay.
Which was because he went through my phone, and I was like, I stayed the night at his house, at Royland's house.
Royland, I love how quickly you go.
So Royland was really sort of in the. You got, by the way, obviously, you spent the night at his house and nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
For 10
and I was
years?
like, he made me watch a weightlifting documentary. Well, okay, so he made me watch a weightlifting documentary that night.
Oh boy.
And I was so down bad, I like watched it.
Yeah, that's
no, the other shoe's dropping.
That's crazy, by the way, to be like, hey, thanks for coming over. You want to watch this weightlifting documentary? I've been really getting my pump on this.
Yeah, and I was like, hell yeah, I'm so cool.
Wait a minute.
So,
was he a weightlifter?
He like did it, like I think so later. So then I go to college. He still had a year of high school left.
Got it.
Oh, younger man.
And then I met my husband.
Sorry, what? So then you meet your husband in college.
No, so he had a year of high school left, and then I had college. So I went to college, and then I met my husband. And he was like, hey, you're not allowed to have this hot best friend anymore.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Not just a hot best friend that you were in love with and were like spending the night at his house.
100% in love with.
Right, sure.
So this marriage is very toxic.
Oh,
got it.
And we had broken up during some kind of like row. He had like thrown me out of the car, and I walked back home.
Oh my God.
And I called my friend and was like, hey, come pick me up. And so she came and got me. And then he was like, don't come back, bitch.
Are you still married to this person?
Like legally.
Legally, you're still married to this person, but you're trying to figure out.
I served him with divorce papers, and I lived somewhere else.
Okay, got it. And so congratulations.
Congratulations, by the way. I'm glad that you're out of that toxic
Thank you.
situation.
It was rough.
Yeah, that's a horrible. What a nightmare.
Sorry.
I'm so sorry that you had to deal with that. But so in the sort of downfall of that marriage, you make out with Royland, the hot lifeguard from 10 years ago.
No, so this was about 8 years ago.
Okay.
So I had messaged him and was like, hey, I'm in town. Do you want to hang out? We ended up making out. It went nowhere. I went back to my abusive husband.
Oh.
And then just now I left him.
Okay, gotcha.
And he, during this time, got like engaged. And I was like in the shower, and I was like, I'm going to creep on him. And I saw they got engaged, and I was like, cowabummer.
Wait,
you know?
Sorry, wait.
You were creeping on him in the shower?
When you say I was creeping on him in the shower,
yeah.
You were in your shower, or you were creeping on him in the shower?
No, I was sitting in my shower because I have like depression, so I sit in the shower.
Love it.
Got it. But Tabitha, just so you know, water and electricity do not mix.
Yeah, you should not.
Yeah, no, you just keep your arm out.
Okay, got it. Yeah, by the way, my wife does the same thing. She's always texting in the shower. I'm like, you got to stop your phone. We're going to have to go to the Apple store.
Y'all are rich because you're not worried about
Trust me.
No, Tabitha, your wife.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
All the people texting in the shower.
I can't believe it. It's crazy.
All right, sorry, Tabitha.
Yeah. So I crept on him, and I saw that he had been engaged, and then a couple months later, I crept on him again. That bitch is off his whole profile. So obviously they broke up.
I love that for you.
Jonny is cheering, by the way.
I'm so excited.
This, by the way, cut to that woman weeping.
And I'm like, woo!
Okay, so...
Yeah, I know. I was like, score.
So Royland is engaged. Royland's engagement falls through. She's out of the picture now.
Yes, out of the picture. And then I moved back to, like, my hometown.
Okay.
And, you know, post-divorce, very Lifetime movie.
Yeah.
So I reached out to him. And now this is where the arc of my voicemails began.
And this is all recent now. So now we're in present day.
This is now recent. Now there's been no contact between us for the past, like, 8 years.
Okay. I was confused about the timeline. Also, you left out some really, really wild details from your initial call.
1,000,000%. So, got it. So now we're caught up to current day, and tell me what's up.
I had reached out to him, and I was like, hey, would you like to catch up sometime? And he was like,
did.
for sure. So many exclamation points.
Oh.
Like, the whole conversation, I counted 16, which is intense, I think.
It's so on.
Right? Okay, so that's what I thought. I had even texted my friend like a screenshot, and I was like, I'm going to have sex with him.
Yeah, billions.
And
hot lifeguard.
so...
From what it
At
is.
the
Right.
very
It
least,
is
you're
like-
going to watch a weightlifting documentary with them.
And by the way, everyone wins when that happens.
No, so we went out to dinner, and so he bought me dinner.
What kind of food?
And then he was
What kind of food?
sushi.
Oh,
That's a hot
Which I think is
meal.
sexy.
That's a meal you can fuck after. Sorry, but
Right,
you're not getting like
Oh yeah, no.
too full.
You can get sashimi and still power through. Yeah,
I don't like to.
Yeah,
I don't like
exactly.
to. Cause I don't like sushi usually. I mean, I love it, but you spend a lot of money and you leave like, okay, when's dinner? Like you're kind of hungry
No,
afterwards.
you got to eat before sushi. Kind of
Totally premium. But if you're wanting to have sex, it's the perfect sex food.
Yeah, because you're not like too full. You're not gonna be too gassy. Protein.
Yeah. So that's what I thought too. I was like, sushi means we're gonna have sex.
For sure.
For
So-
sure, big time.
After dinner, he was like, do you want to go to the bars or something? Mind you, we started eating dinner at 7:30. Like, that's so late. And
Okay.
so-
Okay.
Crazy.
Okay, someone's getting a little wild having a dinner at 7:30. But by the way, yeah, I mean,
Okay,
starting a dinner at 7:30.
It's not that weird.
It's not that weird. By the
Like
way.
in fact, when you try to make
I thought it was-
reservations on Open Table,
You can only
go
start at
before
7.
or after 7:30.
Maybe my
7:30.
Midwest is showing.
Oh my
but
God, you're in the
that was-
Midwest?
Okay, interesting.
Yes.
Oh my God, a hot Midwest lifeguard.
So many details.
By the way, he's not still a lifeguard, right?
No, he better be.
No, he's like a nurse. Like, he's like a real person.
Okay, that's hot too.
he's a caregiver.
God, hot job after hot job.
I know, damn.
No, and he looks he like did the army thing for a minute, so he looks amazing.
Oh, a buff
Ooh,
nurse.
I love when people
Right.
don't peak in high school.
So we go back to my house because I was like, no, I'm not going to the bars. Like, it's late. So we went back to my house, and obviously
By the way,
we had sex during Bob's Burger.
yeah.
Oh my God. Bob's Burger
Let's go.
sex.
By the way, love that you were like, oh, it's getting late. We better just go back to my house. The bars are probably closed. It's 9 p.m. We better just go back to my
Literally.
house for a nightcap.
Yeah, fully. Because post-COVID, there's restrictions on how long you can sit at the
That's
table.
right.
Okay, so you had sex to Bob's
And
Burgers.
by the way, you put on Bob's Burgers and then had sex while it was on, and no one thought, let's turn this off because we're hearing Bob's Burgers while we're
He
coining.
did actually. He paused it.
Miles missed the whole Netflix and chill. He's been married for too long.
I think that Netflix and shit, I'm like, I get the concept, but I'm like,
Well, me
turn
too.
the fucking movie off so the mood stays, right? Bob's Burgers is doing some big fart
I'm
prank.
playing a different
Yeah, it's
room.
true.
You know what I mean?
No,
Like,
it's not sexy, but you know what else isn't sexy? Parks and Rec, and everyone's fucking at Parks and Rec.
Yeah, Parks and Rec though is like,
Yeah.
you can kind of tune out. A cartoon is like a little like, I'm like, are my parents gonna come down to the basement and like catch us? You know what I mean? Like having a cartoon on while you're fucking.
Wait, does this guy still live with his parents?
No, he has a house,
Right.
and I have a house. It's a house
you guys
that
are both
his
hot.
fiancé got.
Homeowners. Two homeowners fucking each other
Oh,
during
no, we don't own them.
Okay, got it.
Right.
We're millennials. We just live in these homes.
Hell yeah.
They're not ours.
I appreciate
Cool.
that. Now, so you guys bang during Bob's, and then
Yes.
what happens?
Then nothing.
And then nothing.
So, I mean, he didn't stay the night. Like we had sex, and then he stayed for like 3 or 4 hours or something insane, and we like chit talked, and because we genuinely hadn't seen each other in like 10 years really.
Mhm.
This is like, by the way, how was it? Because like that's a lot of pressure and buildup.
It wasn't like a movie like you would want,
Yeah, right.
It was more like Bob's Burgers.
It was like Bob's Burgers. Some of it's really good.
You laughed a little.
No, it was. I think it was the first time I had sex with somebody that didn't like hate me.
Oh,
So
wow, okay.
it was nice.
Mm.
Like there was like a lot of kissing, like a lot of like hair just touching. It was nice.
Oh, that's really nice.
That is
Yeah,
nice.
and
But
obviously, by the way, nice
Yeah.
for a first time with any new person is more than fine.
That's such a good point,
That's,
Mouse.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the first time that two individuals have sex, it's like always, it's awkward. You're getting to know them and like their whole situation.
I think it takes minimum like 3
Yeah.
before you're like, okay, this is how we behave.
This is how we fuck.
This is how we fuck to Bob's Burgers.
Okay, so
we'll do a different show and see if that changes. the mood.
Changes the mood. So you hook up, and then the evening he stays over for a little bit, but then he doesn't sleep over. Goes home. That's fine. First time.
Totally.
And what was your contact like afterward?
So the next day I was like, hey, do I need to get a plan B? And he
Well-
was like, no. And then
Wait, I'm sorry.
he's in
Why
for
are
it.
you asking him?
Also, like,
Wait, by the way, don't ask the dude if you should get a plan B.
No,
If you
because-
feel like you need to get plan B, get plan B.
but that's a good point. I'm a woman. I'm a grown up.
How would he know, by the
Yeah.
way? Like,
I think the subtext there is like,
Because even
no, go ahead. Sorry.
don't
You
say
were
it
there.
out loud. I'll get embarrassed.
You were there. I wasn't.
don't say it out loud. I'll get embarrassed. She said.
No, I did.
He didn't finish Bob's Burgers.
Oh my god.
He didn't finish the episode.
Right.
And you were wondering, did he finish the episode
Totally.
of Bob's Burgers?
Yes. So that was the question. Because I had a cocktail. I wasn't sure.
Got it.
Right.
Okay, got it. Copy that.
So then after that, I had texted him, hey, these are my days off next week. And then he had texted me back his days off next week. There were several days that coincided, then nothing.
Okay.
Well, when you say there's several days coincided, what did he say?
Right.
Was he the last text or were you the last text?
I'm always the last texter. I'm so bad.
Same.
Yeah.
I had said, hey, I have plans for the rest of the week, but would you like to do something next week? And he said, I'm off Tuesday through Friday. And I said, oh, cool. I'm off Tuesday and Thursday.
And he didn't respond.
And then he didn't respond.
Okay. And how long ago was
And
this?
I'm trying to be cool, casual, and fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was a week and a half ago.
Okay, so here's what you need to do. I think that, first of all, guy could be a dummy texter. I'm a bad texter. Now, you guys had this kind of whirlwind experience. He may also, there's a couple things that could be going on here, and I'm going to present them to you, and then you say what you think they are. He could be
Ugh.
not wanting to come off like he's so into it that it scares you away. That's A. B, he could be like, that was really fun, but I'm just in a million places. As somebody I haven't seen in a long time. It's like a lot of pressure, kind of. Or C, be like, you know what? It was fun, but I'll get around to it eventually. I would imagine that probably after, like, you're not a crazy person, so you aren't perceiving that something happened that didn't happen. You're not being like, it was really fun, and he's like, it was horrible. Like, that just probably isn't happening.
Well, yeah.
So I would imagine that what you should do is reset the expectation and give a date. Sometimes the planning, you lose a little bit of that sexiness. Finding a date is not cool or interesting or fun to have. It's a little awkward. It's a little clunky.
Mm-hmm.
Being like, what about this restaurant? I'm allergic to nuts.
Yeah.
What about this restaurant?
Yeah.
It's like you're losing the thread a little bit about the hot lifeguardness of it all. So I'm suggesting that you go.
Yes, and that's what I'm attracted to.
Exactly. You're looking for him to swim in your waters.
Girl.
And I'm saying that you should say, by the way, Saturday, sushi, question mark.
More sushi. Sushi, because it went so well last time when we fucked after sushi. No, you know what I mean?
Remember?
It was a
you
really
remember when we fucked after
mild
sushi?
meal.
It was mild. No wasabi to be found.
I feel like there's all these like hidden messaging in those things. Like it's really hard for me to both take things at their face value and then also not. So like if you say, let's get sushi, that very well could be, I just freaking like sushi from that place. Or it could be, this is the sex food. And it's very hard for me to consider both possibilities without having severe anxiety.
Okay. So I think that what you should do is, and first of all, by the way, and this is another thing, if he enjoyed his time with you, but also doesn't want to pursue something again, that is a possibility. The fastest way that you're going to quell your own anxiety, it seems a little counterintuitive. Fastest way you're going to quell your own anxiety is by giving him a firm date and a firm ask. If he says no, then you have a little bit more information. Then the ball's in his court. Then you know, okay, that was fun, but I have to maybe like check myself out of this for just a little bit. But the quickest way to figure that out is not to soft play it, but to hardball. Like, hey, let's hang out at this date. And then you'll know if he's like, no, I can't. And then he kind of fades away. Then you'll kind of know, all right, that's where his head's at. So I would say you being like, now the time has passed with the amount of dates that were available, right?
Well, and now I don't know because that was this week that I had the schedule of availability.
Yeah. I think you should just be like Friday night.
I don't know.
Yeah, I would just go for a Friday night.
Go for a Friday night.
Okay.
The other thing is, I have really strong feelings about the texting of it all. Okay, and I believe that you can double text once.
I agreed.
You get one double text.
Absolutely.
So you're still good. So you're not gonna overdo it. Don't worry about coming on too strong. Like one double text is not a million.
And by the way,
texts.
I'm a horrible texter. Yeah. I'm like Sarah, and this is like. This is sort of the case against me, but also the case for that I'm married with a child now. Sarah was like, I thought maybe you didn't like me because whatever. Wow. And it's just because I'm a bad, I use exclamation points. Like I'm big, like I have to take them out because it's a little too much. Yeah. But I'll miss a text and then respond a little bit later. And then I won't I didn't until sort of recently have a bip and bap banter with a text message. I often was a phone caller. Wow. Which is intimidating to a lot of people.
Very. Cold call.
I love phone calls. Me and my friends FaceTime constantly. And I would love to do that, but it feels more intimate.
That's not bad. No. Yeah, that's not bad to be like, just call him in the fucking middle. Like he could be at work is the only problem.
I would say, are you considering calling him?
No, I don't, because I don't know how to play it. Because I'm not even sure that I would want this to be a relationship either, but it's so new. There is so much buildup and pressure. It's so new. And I would just like the opportunity to, one, be his friend again. Like I genuinely enjoyed him. Yeah. And two, if we make out a little bit or whatever, every now and then, that's great for me too. I just need to know where to place my expectations. Because if he's like, I only want to hook up until whatever, then I can know that.
Okay. So here's the other thing this is something I suggest a lot on the show. But it's the art of the group hang swing by. You and your friends are hanging out at a bar, indoor/restaurant. Hey, we're here. You should totally come by. Because that way, you're just saying, I'm having fun with my friends. I'm the fucking life of the party. And the party's where I'm at. Yep. And if you want to swing by, that's fine. But if you don't, middle finger up in the air. I don't even care. Anyway. I'm going to find some other dude to watch Bob's Burgers with here. But, so I think that's another way to...
That second half is the harder half.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And you don't actually have to do that, but you just want to present that as the expectation. Like, me and my friends are hanging out. It's cash. You can come by if you want.
Tabitha, one other thing I really want to say here is this is the classic situation of like a long-term build-up and pedestaling of somebody from your past.
Oh, yeah.
And that's not a bad thing. I think it's actually really fun that you guys had sex and maybe will continue to. I do want to say, this man, though he sounds amazing, he plays Bob's Burgers,
he's
weightlifting documentaries,
big biceps.
You probably are viewing him on a pedestal
really
still.
Good, yeah.
And I just want to say, because I don't think this is like for sure going to end or whatever. He's not going to, just because he didn't respond to that one text. Yeah. But if it does, I just want to say, try to humanize this man a little bit.
Big time.
Okay? Try to make him a human. Because there is somebody from my past who was like,
yeah, this is really good.
It was like a sailor coming into port every like 5 months.
Yeah.
And if he just lived in my town and he wasn't a sailor coming into port, By the way, like he wasn't actually a sailor.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was clear.
No, it wasn't.
No, that's hot though too.
So, but he
Anything
wasn't a
sea
sailor,
related.
but he was like a sailor coming into port every 5 months. And because I never got to know him, I never got to know that he had bad breath. I never got to know that he was kind of annoying about this or that. You know, I never got to humanize him.
Yep.
So he was always on a pedestal. And I want to make sure that it's really hot and sexy that it's been 10 years in the making.
Yeah.
But I don't want the hot and sexy thing to totally sweep you off your feet.
I think that's a really good point, Johnny. And I have also had the similar situation where it's like I was dating someone that didn't live and they were like coming to visit me. And it was like, oh, you build up this sort of texting relationship.
Yep.
Then they came to visit. And then it's like, oh, they came to visit again. Oh, the third time we're sort of getting to realize that maybe we're just friends and that like we're not compatible in this romantic way.
Yep.
And I think that that's like a good lesson to learn. And the pedestaling of someone also raises the stakes. So if you're like, this guy, like, I don't want to scare him away, so I'm going to text him just like minimally and stuff. You're not being your authentic self.
Yep.
And you got to be yourself. You got to
Yes.
show people who you are in order for them to like you.
Amen.
Boom.
Miles, you said something one time that changed my life. You had said, and I know that's so dramatic, but I truly, truly fucking mean it, because you had said, your soulmate's probably going to like you.
Oh, no, big time.
And
Yeah.
and I was like, my husband doesn't even like me.
Wow.
Like, it truly
Yeah, no.
changed my life.
I think that it's such a, people are out there being like, how do I get this person to fucking fall in love with me? And it's
Yeah.
like, the person that you're meant to be with is probably gonna like who you are right
Man.
away. Like you're not gonna have to convince them that you're worth spending time with.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? As long as you're yourself and you're not, you know, like whatever, like people have awkward, like, will they, won't they? And it's like, oh, maybe I said something weird. But like the person that you are probably going to spend a lot of time with and love is going to be someone that's going to want to get to know you.
Damn. That is life-changing.
Yeah. I because that's how I felt
It
with
really
like,
did.
I had so many friends around when I met my lovely wife, Sarah, that were like, yeah, like, they were someone that used to date a friend of mine, and then we started hooking up, but it was kind of weird, and then we didn't see each other 3 months, and we got in a big fight, and it's like, I'm wondering if we should be boyfriend and girlfriend.
Totally.
And it's like, yeah, I don't know. That seems so complicated
Yes.
that it's like maybe not worth it, and also maybe too much work to get what you're looking for.
So true. Like maybe
Yeah.
take a path of less resistance.
Take a path of less resistance. And maybe this is somebody that you want to be dating, but like if that's true, take a month off and then see if you can reset the expectation here. But yeah. I would say that it seems like you're in good territory. I'm glad you had this sort of like wonderful thing after so long with this person. It could just be that. It could be more. But either way, you got to remember that you are that bitch. And I would just give him a firm date.
Text him. Miles.
Double text.
Miles, you're so right.
Yeah.
And then also just send him this
Miles
episode.
told
Exactly.
Do you ever tell people to send
this
the guy the episode?
Yeah, I tell, and then I say, if he listens to this and wants to call in, tell him to call me.
I told him about this podcast.
You told him about this
Oh,
No, I
podcast?
didn't tell him about because I'm a Patreon subscriber.
Oh, thank you.
He was just like, oh, what podcast are you doing? And I was like, oh my God, let me tell you about Miles. First, have you heard of the Try Guys, you know? So I told him the saga.
That's very sweet of you to be out there, boots on the ground, promoting the show to your lifeguard
I'm
lover.
worse than the army.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you for calling in, and you have the most amazing evening.
Thank you. Thank you, Johnny.
Of course. Good luck, Tabitha.
Bye, Tabitha.
Aw.
Wow. If you know me, you know that I'm a fashionista, and I'm trying to explore outside of my comfort zone so I can be fashionable every day of the week. And luckily I have Stitch Fix, and they are having me get into clothing that is outside of my comfort zone, but I need the push, because every time I do, I think that my tuchus looks good and my gams look fine. Stitch Fix is the best way to discover new styles and brands just for you. Think of Stitch Fix as your style partner. Your stylist will learn about your taste and collaborate with you on looks you'll love. All you have to do is answer a few questions about where you typically like to shop, what you like to wear, and your price range. With your choices in mind and a wide range of sizes available from from extra small to 3XL, they'll find the perfect fit. There's no subscription required. Simply order a refresh as needed or set it and forget it with regular seasonal fixes. You're in control. I'm always asking my friends for second opinions on my clothing, and it's really nice to have someone who has me in mind and what I typically like to wear before they're sending me over things that I'm gonna put on my body. I've got a couple of units in the mail onto me, and they are absolutely gonna be helping me show off my gams for the summer, which I am absolutely thrilled about. All this stuff is super high quality, and I highly recommend it. And you can try Stitch Fix today at stitchfix.com/perfectperson. You'll get 25% off when you keep everything in your fix. That's stitchfix.com/perfectperson for 25% off today. stitchfix.com/perfectperson.
She was a hoot and a holler.
Total hoot and a holler. What a fucking journey, too.
I mean,
damn.
I noticed this in the episode that I listened to, the one episode of the show I've ever listened to, is that people call in and then you call them back and the details are like so much more wild than the initial call.
Because I also say on the voicemail, I say, tell me your problem in 15 seconds or less.
Got it.
So they're concising it. People are selling me the story, and then I'm like,
elevator
I found a scoop, and then I get in, and all the details are
But
crazy.
she could have mentioned real quick the divorce.
Yeah, like I just got, oh my God, what a wild saga.
The
too.
divorce just ending. I mean, what?
It's wild.
Yeah.
I know. But I know that feeling though, where you're like, we hooked up and it went so well, and then you're like, why the fuck didn't they respond to my text?
Yeah.
Like that feeling is so yucky.
I know.
But yeah, the thing you just got to remember is it's like, oh yeah, well, if you like, you wouldn't like them if they didn't like you,
Totally.
or whatever.
Wow. Yeah.
Like, maybe not. Like it's like,
Thanks.
or no, like you have to put the ball in their court, and then they will tell you if they like you or not.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Right.
I agree.
Let's take another call here, Johnny.
This is so fun.
Fucking crushing it here. This is interesting. Huh. All right.
Hi, Miles. So something happened, and I'm responsible for a couple breaking up because of things that happened over a year ago that I finally just coincidentally told someone. And now they've broken up, and they were together for 3 years, and we already have issues, and I'm afraid she's going to, like, turn around and ruin my life, basically. Okay. Love you. Love the show. Perfection is indeed only a call away. Bye.
Wow. That moment when you've been talking that shit and then it leads to real repercussions.
Totally.
I mean, it's just tough because it's like gossip can be so fun.
Oh, God.
But what the fuck is the gossip about?
I gotta know.
I gotta know.
Hope she picks up.
I know. She called in 2 hours ago. So
Well, better. Got nothing else.
that's the one problem with the show. Sometimes people don't pick up.
Hello?
Hello, you called Perfect Person. I'm here to call you back. And I'm here with Jonny Cakes.
Hello, hello.
Oh my God!
Thanks for
My
calling
heart
in.
is like pounding out of my chest. I've done nothing, so this is like good cardio, I guess. Getting
Oh
my
my
blood pressure up.
God.
This is your workout for today.
Good, yeah.
And you absolutely can take that to the bank.
But also, like, just like sit down and take a breath. It's,
No, you got to start running. Run
You
around
gotta
your house and
go
scream.
for a quick run.
Go for a run and scream.
Wait, I missed who you said you were with. Is this Johnny?
Johnny,
It
this is
is.
Jonny Cakes.
Oh my God! Oh,
Hi. How are you?
I'm just, good.
Oh,
I'm
good.
good. I'm glad that you're good. Well, we have to give you a fake name, Johnny. Fake name, please.
I'm gonna call you Mrs. Lovett. That's the name from Sweeney Todd.
That's
Okay,
a Sweeney
I love
Todd.
it, obviously.
That is a Sweeney reference.
I don't know where
Yeah,
I
you've
have
been
not
watching
seen
Sweeney?
Sweeney Todd in years. I'm so
The
sorry.
pie.
I'm truly so sorry that
All
I
right,
called you Mrs. Lovett.
No, Mrs. Lovett is perfect. Mrs. Lovett, please tell us about your situation.
Okay, so there's a few people in this story, so I guess I need a fake name for one of my good friends
Yeah,
as well.
I mean, we've
I'll
obviously
let you guys pick
we've got
that.
some, we've got
I mean
some names.
Sweeney Todd.
So the people in the relationship are going to be Sweeney Todd,
Toby.
and Toby. No, Sweeney Todd is
Okay,
going to be the guy. Toby will be the girl.
Okay, perfect. So
Oh, Anna.
I'm Mrs. Lovett. Oh, this goes back to freshman year of college. I'm now graduated. So this has been a story long in the making.
Oh my
Okay.
God, she's grown.
So it's and now like graduated in May, so like 4 years. But
Congratulations.
last year, my senior year,
Yeah.
thank you. I studied abroad in London for a semester
Sweeney
during my
Todd,
junior
by the way.
year.
Yeah.
No, it's all meant to be. You knew it was coming.
Okay. So he worked at a pie.
He worked at the pie shop. He said, "These are my friends."
Yeah. You had a barbershop upstairs.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
So I studied abroad in London, and I didn't know anybody when I went. I knew of like a few people, but I didn't have any friends like going into it. So the people that I like knew of was like, okay, like you have to be my friend because I'm not going to be in a city alone.
Okay.
So study abroad, I make all these friends. Long story short, the friend group implodes naturally. You know, we're all forced to live together. Things happen. But before this happened, we were all in a group chat together, and somebody in the group chat sends a video at like 3:00 in the morning, and the caption of the video is, "I'll have what she's having." And we're like, huh? He opens the door of his apartment. He opens the door of his apartment, and it's very obvious that these people who live on his floor are having the loudest sex possible just in the middle of our apartment building.
Wow.
So I think nothing of it. Okay.
Wait, sorry.
Whatever.
I need a couple more clarifying details. Sorry. In the apartment building, like he opens the door to his apartment building, and it's clear they're having sex somewhere inside one of the rooms or in like the fucking lobby.
Oh, in one of their rooms.
Okay.
They weren't just like in the lobby.
It's just loud enough that it's permeating through the lobby and the halls.
Oh yeah. So
Got
it's absolutely crazy.
But not his
that loud.
apartment unit, correct?
No.
Okay,
No.
got it.
These are people we didn't know.
A neighbor.
Cool.
So flash forward to this past June. I'm in New York City meeting with one of my friends who I went abroad with. We became great friends, and we're eating lunch, and we're like reminiscing about the friend group imploding because we were the only two survivors.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you remember that video that so-and-so sent? I was like, do you know who was in that video? And I was like, actually, I do. I was one of the girl that was in the video who was screaming is my old freshman roommate's ex-roommate who punched her and sent somebody to the hospital.
Oh my God. Sorry, I need you to slow down so we can get the key players right. You're like,
who's Sweeney?
Like, it's like, yeah, who's Sweeney? We jumped like so many. It's like my ex-friend's roommate's sister fucked in the room. I was like,
and then punched somebody?
Okay, so the guy who sends the video in the group, chat, who is that guy?
Yeah.
He's just like irrelevant, somebody who imploded in the group.
Got it.
He's part of your
his
friend
only
group.
role is he provided the video.
Got it.
He provided
that's a big role. That's
yeah.
a big role.
He's the deep throat.
Sweeney.
He should be. That's a big
I think
role.
he's the inciting incident.
So
here.
the couple was that I'm now talking about. I think you said their name was Sweeney Todd. I've never seen Sweeney Todd, so I don't remember the name.
Let's say that the couple. This is so convoluted, but it actually helps that we're doing Sweeney Todd. The couple is Joanna and Gavroche. No, not Gavroche. Joanna and Toby.
No, Toby's the little kid, isn't he?
Oh, Toby is the kid. Who's Joanna's lover?
I feel
You, Joanna.
I'll Google it real quick.
Okay, well, anyway, Joanna and Gavroche is what we're going to go with. So Joanna and Gavroche are the couple, and then you are getting lunch with Joanna?
No, with a different friend.
Okay,
Different friend.
Joanna, Gavroche, and you know who is it? Mrs. Love. No, you're Miss Love.
I'm Miss Love.
We've run out of characters.
This story has too many characters.
With Tina. You've gotten lunch with Tina. And Tina says that the people having sex.
So Tina is talking to me. He's like, oh, like, do you remember that video that so-and-so sent? And I'm like, yeah, actually, like, I found out who it was.
Got it.
So the girl in the video who is Joanna I met her freshman year. She used to live with one of my old roommates freshman year. Mm-hmm. She punched her, sent somebody else to the hospital, and was like low-key a psychopath.
Oh my God.
And he's like, oh, like, what's her name? I'm like, oh, it's Joanna. And he goes, Joanna has her last name. I'm like, yeah. He goes, she's been dating one of my friends for the last 3 years.
Right.
Oh.
Right. Shit hits the fan.
So how? Oh my goodness. Okay.
And I'm like, wait, but like that video is only a year old. So we've been sitting on this bomb of information just on our phones in a group chat that we both still have for a year.
The murder weapon was inside the building the whole time. So you're telling me that
it really was.
You found out that you had a video. This is so movie.
Yeah.
But it's giving movie. It's so unspecific.
Feature film.
It's giving feature film. But you were sitting on evidence that Joanna had been cheating on Gavroche.
Yeah, for a year.
And only until you put your two puzzle pieces together, because you knew she was sleeping with somebody, but you didn't know that sleeping was cheating.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Whoa.
And so he's like, wait, they've been together for so long. Like, he's fully talked about, like, proposing to her. And I'm like, I don't talk to her anymore because she went crazy and assaulted one of my friends, sent them to the hospital. Like, I don't want to associate with her.
Right.
How do you know that it was her in the video?
Some third-party person who, it's like so complicated.
We gotta name him.
Someone that, again, in the friend group, another person in the friend group that exploded, she was friends with this girl. So when we got the video, she like bugged out because she recognized
knew that sound.
Oh boy.
She recognized the situation as like, oh, like I know the person who's in that apartment because like we knew who lived in the unit. And she's like, so I know, she knew who it was. So she like bugged out on the person who sent it and like casually told me, oh, that's my friend Joanna, not knowing that I had issues with Joanna.
Got it. Right. So it's like, she's like, I know that Moan anywhere. That's my girl, Joanna.
Exactly.
By the way, just so you know, Mrs. Lovett, that girl had sex with Joanna. It's like,
yeah, your friend.
She knew the moan.
Oh, I know that moan anywhere.
Not to stir the pot, but they were fine.
But if you
I
know
love stirring the pot.
No, okay. So
because we've been trying to figure out how she knew it was her.
Mama.
Because this doesn't make sense.
I mean, look at the material.
You cracked the case.
Yeah.
So, got it. So, okay. So now this evidence is being presented, and the guy's like, "Oh, I had a friend, whatever." What? So then he presents that evidence to the guy that's dating Joanna.
So he went to like their mutual friends and was like, "I think this is the case. I don't want to make it an issue unless you like can confirm or deny this is possible."
Yeah.
So I don't really know the steps that happened in between, but I got a call yesterday. He goes, "I have to tell you something." And I was like, "Okay." He goes, "Joanna and Gavroche broke up because of the video."
Okay, but that's not your fault, Mrs. Lovett.
Well,
okay, but I'm concerned because she is like, we have issues, deep-rooted issues, like no contact order. Like I had a class with her, and while I was abroad, like randomly, and the professor, I like went up to him. I was like, legally, we cannot work together. So like, this is like.
Do you mind if I ask why there's a no contact order?
So when she like bugged out and punched one of my friends, and then sent another girl to the hospital, and then like trashed their room. Like she lived with the girl she like punched and trashed their room, and we like complained to our RA and had her removed from the building.
Okay.
Oh, we got it. Okay.
But I just don't.
They were like, "Well, you guys can all press charges," and we're like, "Oh, we're good."
It seems to me though that you didn't. So you presented information that gave somebody else the ability to do something about it.
Yeah.
It's not like you talked to somebody. Am I correct in thinking like you didn't find out this information from, there's no world in which I can remember the name of the person.
No fucking way. Yeah.
But the person you compared notes with.
Tina.
Yep. Tina. You didn't go off and like run with this information. Did you? Didn't Tina?
No, I mean, we just went to the person who like would have been the victim in this situation of getting cheated on.
Okay. So did you approach Gavroche and say, "Hey, your girlfriend, Joanna"?
Yeah. Was it you or did Tina go?
And then Tina did it. I don't know Gavron at all. They were roommates, Tina and Gavron.
Gavroche, actually.
But
it's Gavroche.
Sorry, not to get hung up in the minutia.
But it is Gavroche.
But just so you know, it is Gavroche. Okay, Mrs. Lovett, you did not.
Yeah, you're not in the wrong here at all. But the one thing I will say is you didn't do anything wrong. Now, you are dealing with somebody who's like a crazy person, right? Like that's like punching people and sending people to the hospital and fucking with the door open or whatever she's doing, like moaning for the whole building to see.
Yeah.
So is that person live in your city?
I don't know anymore.
Okay.
I would imagine
there's a good chance we end up like our industries are both like in entertainment. So like obviously there's big cities for that. Yep. So the odds that we cross paths it's not impossible or improbable.
I would say to clear your peace of mind, obviously like how many people were on that group chat?
There was 4 of us. So it's really like
3 of them are dead.
He would recognize my name and be like, he would recognize my name and be like, "Oh, that's that bitch from freshman year who like got me kicked out of my building." even though it was her fault.
How do we
But,
know
like,
that she knows that you gave this bit of information to Tina?
Yeah, because that
I don't, and that's what's driving me crazy.
there's
I'm so
no.
afraid
By the
she's
way,
gonna figure it out.
plausible deniability here. If you're moaning for the whole building to see, that can't be the only video. There's got to be other people that are like, have the moaning video that's going around.
Also, Mrs. Lovett, if you were sending the video, if you were approaching the ex or the boyfriend, now ex, I would be like, fine, maybe you stirred the pot a little bit too much. But quite honestly,
you didn't.
It seems like you just are like one small player in this. Yeah. And if she's going to be mad, if Joanna's going to be mad at anybody, I think there's other people besides you that she's going to be more mad at.
Like Tina or whatever. Tina freaking went to the boyfriend and said, hey, you did this whole crazy thing. By the way, that relationship can't be good.
No.
Freaking, she's running around punching people.
No.
Like, I think that you are, first of all, in the clear. You've done, I think, a pretty good job of staying out of the drama. And also, steering clear of this person who is unwell.
Yes.
And is doing wild stuff.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I think more the fear of like, oh, she could fuck some shit up if she really wanted.
And
totally.
You know what?
At night.
There's also the difference of you guys are a little bit older now, and maybe, who knows, maybe she hasn't changed at all, but like, you know what I mean? She was like a freshman in college, now she's out of college. Like, I think you actually have a little bit less leeway to be that crazy when you're out of school. Like, there's something that makes you feel invincible when you're 20 or 19 or whatever. And, I feel like that, the likelihood she's going to do something crazy is probably a little bit lesser. And also, blanket advice for cheaters out there. If you're going to cheat on your boyfriend, don't scream moan in front of the whole apartment building.
I completely agree. Also, like, she's the one who should feel weird, not you. Do you ever do that? Do you ever like go out and maybe you have like a drink or two, and then the next day you wake up and and the next day you wake up and you shit your brains out?
Shit your pants
What
out.
if that's all? That's it.
That was the
Do you
whole
ever do that? No, you go out and you go, oh God, did I say something weird? Did I do something weird? And it's like, no,
the anxiety.
you literally didn't. Calm down.
Yeah.
Nobody thought about you last night. You're fine. I think you're overworked about something that is probably not an issue. And I will say, only in my late 20s, not to sound like an old grandpa here, but only in my late 20s did I start saying, oh, I'm not going to spend a second stressing about something that isn't real or hasn't been presented to me.
Yeah, no, you can't. You can't play out a hypothetical of what if she's mad at me and then she's going to come beat me up or whatever, because you're not presented with the initial spark of information. Like, there's no information here. It's just like, oh, this happened a long time ago and this person broke up. It has nothing really to do with you. I get the anxiety feeling of being like, what if I'm loosely connected to this? But it's almost like sometimes when you gossip, you get too insular and you're like, you craft a narrative that is even wilder. Like, they're breaking up. And it's like, well, what if they broke up and she thinks I'm responsible and she's going to come beat the shit out of me?
Yeah.
And it's like, that's a whole other story that isn't even starting yet.
Yeah.
So I get the anxiety, but I think you're in the clear. And you've done everything pretty pixel perfect. I think
so too.
Right?
Okay, good.
And I also would just like maybe moving forward, just maybe like we're done with this conversation. Not that you can't talk about this with people, but like maybe this is a good thing to just sort of put to bed.
Yeah, put it to bed.
Oh, I left the group chat that had the video. I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really
you're out of the group chat. You're out with these friends. You're moving on to a new chapter in your life where you are singing and dancing like Mrs. Lovett. You talking to me, Willis?
Right. Can the callers hear the?
Yeah.
Okay, you got it.
Yes. And then it like came out that the timeline added up and there were other things that she had done. So like I really don't feel that bad. It's just more she scares me.
This person's a nightmare. But you are in the clear.
Summary.
In summary, this person's a nightmare. And also in summary, thanks for calling in. And you have the best freaking day of your entire life. I'm glad these toxic people are out of your situation. And Tina has dealt with the deed.
Amen.
Amen. All right. Love you guys. Thank you so much for calling me back. This made my day.
I'm glad. Bye.
Wow.
Bada bing, bada boom.
That story was very difficult to understand.
A whirlwind.
Gavron. I love these callers. They're so lovely.
They're so good. And honestly, Johnny, it's a shame because we're nearing the end of the episode.
Wait a minute.
And we have one final segment here.
Okay.
It's a segment we like to call Get Real. Now, Jonny, I appreciate you coming on the show. This is a segment where we force a genuine moment in an effort to learn more about ourselves and each other.
Yep.
You're sort of a silly little guy.
Silly little guy.
Now, what's something that
Sorry.
What's something that you've been struggling with recently? I think that I see you in lots of different types of content. You're sort of a silly little cake man. And I'm wondering, what is something in your own life that you've been working on? And it could be a hobby, it could be like a personal goal, or something that you've been having difficulty with recently.
Well, Miles, you see what I do with a majority of my time.
Yeah.
Is I take a very sharp knife.
Interesting.
And I walk up to what seems like a normal everyday object. And I slice that object.
Sure.
Okay.
It's groundbreaking. It's revolutionary in a way.
Now here's the thing. That's fun for 5 seconds. What is my legacy on this God's green earth? Is that it?
Sure.
And what other talents do I have? And how can I milk this weird, memeable thing into a career? Sorry. Was I too wordy? No, I think what I'm trying to say is like,
totally.
What's next?
Yeah, no, by the way, I totally get that. That's so funny. You obviously like captured something that like people really enjoy, but I get the feeling of, especially when the internet moves so quickly, you're like, all right, I did this.
Yep.
Had a ton of success doing this thing. How do I do the next thing that's going to have longevity? And you're going to be able to express maybe a slightly different part of yourself.
Yeah.
That's not you slicing into an object that is maybe cake.
Okay, but is that thing, this feels like therapy, by the way.
It should.
Is that thing in the same realm as the shoe cakes, or is it something completely out of left field?
Yeah, right.
Am I baking croissants?
Cutting to the...
that look like shoes? Can you imagine if that was your advice? Just pivot to hyper-realistic
croissants, guys.
Or do I try something new?
Yeah. I mean, and what's the answer? I don't know. Are you working on that? You're thinking about that?
Well, I don't know. That's why I'm paying you the big bucks.
That's right.
By the way, weird. Miles requires his guests to pay him
you have to
come and do this podcast.
I do a charge.
It's very odd.
It's got to be charged. But no, I totally get that, by the way. And I think that I have that thought often with any work on the internet. It's so much effort, and then you post the thing, and then it's like, all right, what's the next thing?
Yeah.
And the thing I yearn for, I'm like editing a short film that I shot a little bit ago, is like, how can I have a friend, my friend Catherine, she directed this movie, and it's on Showtime and stuff like that now.
Okay.
And it's really remarkable because it's a fantastic movie. Huge shout out. Catherine was a guest on the show.
Woohoo.
But after they made the movie, she still gets to be proud of the movie for a long time afterward. And a big part of it is promoting the movie and getting people to go see the movie after the art has done. And I think that so much of social media is almost flipped, where you are promoting it up until you post it, and then you move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how can I create something where I get to be proud of the thing for a longer window after? Because then you get to sort of live in like no, that was a really cool thing.
Yeah.
Or that was a really good episode, or that was or whatever. And I think especially with internet content, you pump out a lot of content.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that it feels like, okay, I posted this and it did well. How do I do the next thing?
Yeah.
Instead of being proud of what you have created.
Totally. And it brings on an anxiety of like, there's never the satisfaction of just taking a deep breath.
No, totally.
My life's clearly my life is very hard. I mean, when you look at what I do, it's painful.
Slicing.
No, I think that you're right. This is probably more unique to the internet than any other field, but maybe not. And maybe other people can relate to this. Like, how do you keep the ball rolling?
I think it's probably relatable in that with any job you have like, I don't know, just in today, like under fucking capitalism, you have to grind so hard and do so many different things that you don't really have time to feel proud about the things you have done.
Yeah.
And it's all about what you're doing next in a way that like everyone kind of probably feels like they have to sell themselves with the next thing they're doing. Like, what do you got coming up? And it's like, and it's like, you don't have to have anything coming up. Like it's probably healthier to be like, oh, well, I just did this and I'm kind of figuring out what's next. Is probably like a more sustainable way of making things. But because of the internet, you don't have that luxury often.
There's a great Ann Curry quote, and Ann Curry, not Ann Coulter.
If you believe Jonny went on my podcast and quoted Ann Coulter.
So Ann Curry says, I think, I'm probably butchering it, but the quote is, and by the way, people who share inspirational quotes.
Love it.
Mama. One time, Mindy Kaling tweeted, like, I feel like people who share inspirational quotes on social media are like 5 seconds away from a nervous breakdown. And I do agree with that.
That's so funny.
But I will give an inspirational quote. She
Please.
said, perhaps the greatest thing you'll do in life you haven't even thought of yet. And I love that because it's like, we don't know what's next. If you had told me 5 years ago that I'd be cutting Crocs that are cakes, I'd be like, I've never made a cake. What are you talking about?
You had never made a cake 5 years ago?
No.
That's fascinating.
I mean, I baked like as a kid with my mom.
Yeah. But you weren't in the game.
Mama, no. So I recognize that there are things out there that I don't even know exist yet that I will do. Right?
Yeah, no, I love that. No, I think that is inspiring because I'm like, okay, I have this element or slice of the internet. How do I capitalize on this to do the next thing?
Yeah.
I think it's kind of refreshing to be like, maybe it's something totally different. That's not so much of YouTube videos and TikToks and whatever is making something and then, that was successful. How can I spin that into something that is the same but slightly a different flavor?
Totally.
And it's that success again. And I think it's refreshing to be like, what if it's something totally different?
What if it's, yeah, right.
Jonny, thanks for doing the show.
This was so lovely. And
yeah, really.
I'll be thinking about this
great sagas. Like I oftentimes, we take 2 or 3, sometimes 4 calls, but we talked to both of those people for a long time because it had such there's so many details that were really fun to me.
The second call we had to take a long time on
because it was
that story.
What is up? Like,
where are we in the world?
I'm going to do a heat map of all the different characters and where they fit and who the fuck Joanna was. It really was not clear.
Right.
But I appreciate you doing the show. Where can people find you? And do you have anything to promote coming up?
They can find me all over the internet at the Jonny Cakes. And do I have anything to promote?
Yeah.
Just that.
Got some advice for you. Drop the.
No.
Just cakes.
Oh, just to be clear, I tried. Don't think I wanted the Jonny. I wanted Jonny Cakes. Jonny Cakes is like a guy in like Wisconsin, and people are always tagging him, and he's like, "Yeah, wrong guy." I think he's pissed.
You got to get that handle from him.
Wait, you think so?
What do you mean?
You think the Jonny Cakes is like that bad?
No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm doing the advice that Justin Timberlake gives in the Facebook movie. He goes, "My advice: drop the."
That went right over my head, but actually, I think I probably should.
I wasn't giving you legitimate advice. I was just doing.
Okay, I did not catch that, but you're right. I did try. I just want it to be known that I did try to get Jonny Cakes. He didn't want to give it to me. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I see. Honestly, I've been trying to. There's like a couple platforms where I want Miles Bond that I don't have. I have it on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, but then I don't have it on YouTube. So it's Miles Bond 1, and it's like some Russian fucking bot account.
Well, good news is you are one. You're number one.
I'm number one. Honestly, maybe I'll do real Miles Bond or the Miles Bond.
Well, apparently you have a lot of people who want to call you, talk to you. That's true. You are the real deal.
Thank you.
There's no one better.
I appreciate that. Well, everyone out there listening to the show, I do appreciate spending this time with you, and I appreciate being a part of your week. Just remember that no matter where you are, what you're doing, perfection is only a call away.
That was a Headgum podcast.